there's only one song worth singing. They may try and sell you, 'cause it hangs them up to see someone like you. But you've gotta make your own kind of music, sing your own special song, make your own kind of music, even if nobody else sings along. You're gonna be nowhere, the loneliest kind of lonely. It may be rough going just to do your thing, the hardest thing to do. But you gotta make your own kind of music, sing your own special song.
Hi, thanks for watching my show. I'm glad you're here. Since I was a kid, I've always loved movies. Growing up in a small town called Rome, New York, there really wasn't a lot to do, but there's one thing that I love to do. I love to go to the movies. Every Saturday afternoon, I'd go to this place called the Capitol Theater, and I would see movies with Jimmy Stewart, Eleanor Parker, John Wayne, Katharine Hepburn, Betty Davis. Well, movie stars became my heroes, and movies had a positive impact in my own life. Now, most movies that we see are filmed in the studios of Hollywood, California, but there are some movies that are filmed on location, which means that Hollywood takes the film crew and films that movie in real cities and in actual places. In the year 1978, our country was in a transition. The Vietnam War had just ended a few years earlier, the Beatles had broken up, and Elvis Presley had just died. So our country was looking for something new and exciting, and many people found that new feeling in a movie called Saturday Night Fever. Now, I remember when Saturday Night Fever came out. I was around 18 years old, and I had just started to go out to the discotheques. And disco, before the movie, disco was kind of like at an average level. But when the movie came out, the disco scene exploded, and everybody, I mean everybody, was out disco dancing. I remember the tight pants and the polyester shirts and dancing till all hours of the morning. And believe me, it was a great time, the best years of my life. Perhaps you didn't know this, but Saturday Night Fever was based on real-life characters. Not only that, but the movie started the disco era of the 1970s, and it was an inspiration to many people in our country and throughout the world. Yes, I know that there's violence and there's sex and there's profanity, but the thing that made Saturday Night Fever such a great movie was that it was able to reach kids from the streets, kids like me that came from nowhere, that came from poverty. And that message was to stay alive, to survive, and try to become a better person. Saturday Night Fever had a positive impact in my own life and people throughout the world. I consider the movie a great one and an all-time classic.
Saturday Night Fever, the movie that made John Travolta a superstar. Saturday Night Fever was released in the year 1978, and it started the disco era of the electrifying 70s. Saturday Night Fever was filmed in the borough of Brooklyn, New York. The story begins with a famous train scene. John Travolta, who plays Tony Manero, is returning to work carrying a paint can. This scene was filmed on 86th Street. really hasn't changed much. Tony stops to order some pizza. The girl serving him the pizza is Travolta's real sister. Two, give me two, he says to her. This scene was filmed at Lenny's Pizza on 86th Street. It's still in business today, and I hear they got great pizza. Tony walks and orders pizza. 86th Street. Mr. Fusco, Tony's boss, waits for him inside the hardware store. This scene here is from inside the hardware store today. The hardware store that was used for the movie was called Pearson's Hardware Store. They're still in business today and are located at 7305 Fifth Ave. By the way, everybody, the lady wearing the necklace is Travolta's real mom. I like that necklace, it's really cool. Pearson's Hardware Store, located at 7305 Fifth Ave. Tony hurries home and gets ready to go out disco dancing. That scene was filmed on 79th Street. Tony enters his home. The house has changed dramatically. It's located at 221 79th Street. It's the house with the brown trim. Tony Manero's house, 221 79th Street. Tony waits for his gang outside of a neighborhood store. This scene was filmed at 7902 3rd Ave. The guys pick up Tony and do a spin around in the middle of the street. This scene was done on 3rd Ave. The car in the middle of the street is where they did the spin around. The gang drive to the famous discotheque 2001 Odyssey. The disco was torn down in 2005. It was replaced by this building. It was located at 802 64th Street. The guys park their car and go inside the disco. This scene was shot right where you see the black car. The discotheque was located next to the building with the stairs. "2001 Odyssey" was located at 802 64th Street. Tony and his gang harass some kids near a basketball court. This scene was filmed in Fort Hamilton Parkway near Marine Ave. Basketball court scene, Fort Hamilton Parkway near Marine Ave. Annette waits for Tony outside of Philip's dance studio. The role of Annette was played by Donna Pescow, and she did a great job. Philip's dance studio was located at 1301 West 7th Street. I wish I had that sign right there. Philip's Dance Studio, West 7th Street.